Hey folks, Film Brown here, down in the vaults, kind of having a little fun. Not much to do down here except watch movies, and sometimes when you get tired of watching the movies, you do a little bit of the hand action there, playing with the digit, seeing how it can make shapes. Got a film that might, well, turn you into shapes tonight. I was looking up a definition here which might fit sort of what we're looking at. It's a word, tormented. Says what? To torture, to suffer great pain and suffering. Well, I'm not sure if this film is going to deliver that absolutely to you, but certainly there is an element of torment in this Bert I. Gordon film. Tormented, 1960. Really fun film. I really enjoyed it myself. It's sort of made in that, well, if Bert I. Gordon had a serious period when he was making films, this is it. Now, usually when we think of Bert I. Gordon, we think of giant things, right? Colossal men, giant animals, everything's giant, everything's big, right? Everything is immense. Or small, like in Attack of the Puppet People, okay? This one doesn't deal with size, doesn't deal with any of those things at all. This is a ghost story, sort of taken on a genre of the horror film that is not really used as well or as often as maybe it should. You think of films like The Uninvited, The Haunting, the Legend of Hell House, things like that deal with hauntings, ghost stories. Ghost Story, for instance, another good one. Well, this one fits right in there. And again, this also fits within sort of that serious period, 1960, that Bert I. Gordon is working. It fits between The Boy and the Pirate. I remember seeing that as a kid at the movie theater, and, well, really stunk. And another film called The Magic Sword. Okay, so this fits right in between there. Film is written by George Worthing Yates, who also wrote a lot of the stuff that Bert I. Gordon at this time does. He wrote the Colossal Man films, he wrote the Attack of the Puppet People, etc. The film stars Richard Carlson. I like Richard Carlson. He is one of my favorite sci-fi actors that come out of the sort of the 50s core of good Universal international films. And he was in The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and It Came from Outer Space. In this one, he plays a guy who, well, he's a jazz pianist. And there's a great jazz score in here that you're going to enjoy by Albert Glaser, okay, who was a regular writer for a lot of different kinds of fantasy films and so on. But the jazz score through this works really well. Now again, Carlson plays this jazz pianist who, well, accidentally, on purpose, murders his girlfriend on the night that he tells her that he's going to marry someone else. Okay, I guess this other one is a more respectable individual, and the one that up in a light tower, okay, and I'm not giving anything away because this is how the film starts, well, slips off and falls, and he sort of just lets her fall. So it's one of those dilemmas. Well, she would have fallen on her own, she just leaned against the railing and it broke, and she was hanging there. I tried to save her, but did I try hard enough? That kind of thing. And that kind of haunts him. And as a matter of fact, she comes back as a ghost and haunts him throughout the film. And it deals with blackmail, and it's got some interesting special effects for the ghosts and things. Floating heads and dismembered hands and things like that. Sort of like the hand that I did at the beginning here, sort of ambling around the set and so on. And it really has a lot of fun. One of the sort of the stars of this film, an unsung star, is not Richard Carlson as much, but it's Susan Gordon, who plays the little girl. She plays the sister of the woman that he's going to marry. And this Susan Gordon, you might, if you watch a lot of Bert I. Gordon films, you'll see her in a lot of his films. This happens to be Bert I. Gordon's daughter, and does a really nice job of really probably one of the more extended speaking roles that she has in here. And she's sort of caught in a dilemma herself, and I won't go too far into that, but she really likes Richard Carlson, the Tom Stewart character, and she really want to kind of protect him. But it's hard for a little girl to do that kind of thing. The camera work was done by Ernest Laszlo. And Ernest Laszlo didn't work just in the fantasy terrain. He also did Inherit the Wind. And he did Kiss Me Deadly, which is one of the great film noir films that Robert Aldrich put together based on the Mickey Spillane source. And that grittiness that he brings to this film, I think really, really works well. Some people you read on this film, Tormented, sort of give it a hard time. I think that it's kind of a fun movie. It's one of those haunted light tower type of things out on the beach where you got ghosts moaning and ghost heads floating around. Pay attention and you'll notice one of those mannequin heads being kind of wrapped up and things like that. Kind of a fun scene there. Richard Carlson does a nice job of working with what he's got. Okay, the script by Yates is maybe not the top caliber as you might find in Amazing Colossal Man. Okay, but it certainly does have well, works the ghost story thing quite well. Okay, and it's nice to see that Bert I. Gordon does have this serious side, the contemplative side, where things don't always have to be shrunken down or made real big. Just kill somebody off and see the ghost and see what happens. Well, I think you're going to enjoy this. And, 1960, serious time for Bert I. Gordon, Tormented. Don't let the film torment you. I think you're going to have some, well, a time of peace and tranquility with this film. When you're done watching this film, I think you'll be ready to, well, hit the sack. Well, folks, got that email out there? Got any questions? Got any comments? Got anything? Feel free to write me. We've got our mailbag here. Got the stuff that you folks are sending us. We always respond and look forward to hearing from each and every one of you. Hope you're really enjoying the fare that we bring in you. Roll 'em, Schmokey.